Hey guys, happy Thursday. I hope you had a fun day today. Grandma just kind of cleaned around the house and did some chores. But I wanted to read a story to you today, and it's Rashenka's Eggs by Patricia Polacco. And you know she's my very favorite author. Rashenka's Eggs. Babushka lived alone in a dasha, a little house in the country, but she was known far and wide for her fine eggs that she so lovingly painted. Her eggs were so beautiful that she always won first prize at the Easter festival in Moskva. Each day, Babushka would take a shell of an egg from her basket and paint it in wonderful designs, using the shapes of stars and flowers, triangles and circles. Through the long, cold winter, Babushka painted. Then one day after a snowstorm, Babushka went outside. She could still hear the faint sound of falling snow. It was a sound like soft rain. Herds of caribou came to feed at Babushka's because the grasses they usually ate were covered with snow. "A miracle," she whispered as she fed some. "These wild things have found their way to me." Just then a flock of noisy geese honked loudly overhead. As they glided over the snow, one of them faltered and fell from the sky. Babushka went to where the goose lay crumpled in the snow. "A hunter did this," Babushka grumbled. She carefully picked up the goose and took it back to her little house. There she fed the little goose from her own table and put the goose in her basket lined with the warmest quilt from her own bed. "I shall name you a good name, one that we both can like, eh, my little friend?" she said as she patted the goose's head. "How do you like Rashenka?" "Yes, then Rashenka it shall be." With Babushka's care, Rashenka grew stronger as each day passed. To repay her kindness, Rashenka laid an egg for breakfast every morning. As Rashenka got better, she waddled around the little house, exploring every nook, cupboard, and corner. One day she jumped on top of Babushka's work table, overturning the jars of bright-colored paint that she used to color her eggs. "Nit!" Babushka screamed as she chased the goose with a broom. "No!" The frightened goose flapped her wings to get away and knocked over the basket of eggs that Babushka had so lovingly painted. The eggs crashed onto the floor and shattered into millions of pieces. They were both very sad. There was no reason now for Babushka to go to the festival. The next morning, Babushka slowly got out of bed and trundled over to Rashenka's basket to get her morning egg. But when she reached into the middle of the quilt, she picked out the most brilliantly colored egg that she had ever seen. "A miracle," Babushka whispered. "A miracle." She made small holes at both ends of the egg and blew the yolk and white into a dish to cook and eat later for breakfast. Then she held the egg up in the morning light and marveled at its beauty. After that, every morning for 12 mornings, there was another egg, each more beautiful than the one she laid before. Soon Babushka had enough eggs to take to the festival in Moskva. "How wonderful," she thought. "A miracle has replaced the eggs that were broken." "Spring is here, my little friend," Babushka said to Rashenka the morning of the festival. "Soon now you will be flying off to the north with your flock." She bustled to the hearth fire and brewed some of her most favored tea. The two shared a saucer of tea with kulach, a sweet Easter bread. She covered each piece with pashka, a spread of cheese, butter, and raisins. They savored each bit together. One for you, one for me, Babushka chanted. Dada, my little friend, I will sorely miss you, but you are a wild thing, and a miracle sent you to me. It would not be right to ask you to stay here with me forever. When Babushka left her little house, she took one last look at Rashenka sitting on the doorstep. She weighed, then took her determined steps for Moskva with a basket of her precious eggs. She crossed the Lebetov Valley where the caribou mothers were walking their newborn calves. A miracle, she thought. New little lives. A miracle. She crossed the bridge over the Moskva River, and soon she could see the onion domes of old Moskva. And these are called onion domes. The festival was bright and exciting. There were goat carts selling koash, processions, dancers, jugglers, and laughing children playing and running. Babushka showed her old friends the eggs. Her eggs are the most beautiful in all Russia, they thought.